vegetarian. I keep thinking you mean like actual fake chicken that she's cutting. It's a funny thing.
Get us water. Bench to it. How lovely today is this Shabbat together. Maya Fe is on page 10 in your prayer books.
Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Maya Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
What a lovely evening. Thank you all for joining us. In our Torah, we witness Jacob encountering some sort of evil demon or angel, and it leads to something good in the end. It leads to the value of kashrut, because the demon damages his thigh muscle, and now we never eat things that don't have the thigh muscle in it in terms of kashrut. So there's a hidden secret in there. And so this is our reminder that when we encounter something evil, we can try to find something good within that evil thing, try to find something positive. So perhaps if you've had a difficult week, I hope that this time of Shabbat and this weekend can be your positive thing this week. We're going to turn to page 6. I'm going to get that. Okay. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. Turn to page 2 to light candles. Nope. able to take a couple of deep breaths, perhaps start to relax as we go through a meditation. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes, uncross your legs, let go of anything that feels tight or restricting in your body. As we transition from the hectic demands of life and daily routines, we are invited to leave the week behind. Let go of what has been. Let go of what will be, and enter a place of stillness, a sacred space and time. As the sun begins to set, breathe in the glow of the sunset and pause and breathe out the stresses of the week. Breathe in the calm of nightfall and pause and breathe out all thoughts of doing and become one with this present moment. Feel the warmth of relaxation wash over you. Breathe in the calm and pause and feel yourself surrender. Breathe out everything and focus only on now, and feel your body, mind, and soul become whole and at peace. And now we are finally ready to savor all that Shabbat provides and become enveloped by holiness as we breathe in and out once more. We pause and welcome the Shabbat bride. Page 20.
Lecha lecha donti, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha donti, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. La 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 lecha donti, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha donti, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'nivor echad, ish mi'anu elam yuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litchila, la 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 la, lecha donti, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha donti, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lehu v'necha, tihi mekor habracha, ve'rosh mikedem yisucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila, la 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 la, lecha donti, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha donti, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, kima'odech uri, 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 shir daberi, kevod Adonai Adonai yiknika, la 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 la, lecha donti, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha donti, likrat likrat kala, penei penei Shabbat nekabela.
Please rise and face the doors.
Mo'i v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha u'v'tzochola, toch emunei yam segula. Bo'i chala, la 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 la, lecha donti, likrat likrat
Page 25. And so we understand that ordinary people are messengers of the Most High. They go about their tasks in holy anonymity, often even unknown to themselves. Yet if they had not been there, if they had not said what they said or did what they did, it would not be the way it is now. We would not be the way we are now. Never forget that you too yourself may be a messenger, perhaps even one whose errand extends over several lifetimes. Page 26.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה
Amen.
בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם עולמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן.
Page 29. O God, you are as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthermost star. Together, we yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. O let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your lights release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. Please rise for the Baruch, our call to worship, on the facing page. Page 30. We continue in the English together. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzebaot is your name, ever-living God. May you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. Page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Hear, O Israel, Shema Yisrael, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever. Shema Yisrael, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. We're on page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'beitecha u'vlechtecha b'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'isharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai?
our feet, we speak to you, by Marge Piercy. We rise to speak, a web of bodies aligned like notes of music. Bless what brought us through the sea and the fire. We are caught in history like whales in polar ice. Yet you have taught us to push against the walls, to reach out and pull each other along, to strive to find the way through, if there is no way around, to go on, to utter ourselves with every breath against the constriction of fear, to know ourselves as the body born from Abraham and Sarah, born out of rock and desert. We reach back through 200 arches of hips, long dust carrying their memories inside us, to live again in our life, Isaac and Rebecca, Rachel, Jacob, and Leah. We say words shaped by ancient use, like steps worn into a rock. Continue on page 45.
Thought has blown the marketplace away. There is a song in the wind, joy in the trees. Shabbat has arrived in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night, and eternity utters a day, and eternity utters a day. Na 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 na. Ya da da ya da 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 da. Ya da da ya da da ya da da da. Ya da da ya da 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 da. Adonai, Sfatai, Sfatai Tifta, Ufi Yagit Tehilatecha. Adonai, Sfatai, Sfatai Tifta, Ufi Yagit Tehilatecha. Yadadai, 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 Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot ve'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei Bneihem, Lema'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Ata Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol ata Rab le'Hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim berofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al giburot, Umidal melech, Melech memit, Umechayeh, hayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated. Page 53. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see, wherever we gaze, that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, "How filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh." Page 55, below the line. The meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space. 6 days a week, we live under the tyranny of things in space. On Shabbat, we try to become attuned to the holiness of time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. Page 57. We can join together at the bottom. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai she'otcha levadcha v'yirah na'avot. We take time for silent prayer and internal reflection. offer a prayer for Israel. This is a poem by Yehuda Amichai, In the Old City. We are holiday weepers, engraving our names on every stone, infected by hope, hostages of government and history, blown by the wind, vacuuming holy dust. Our king is a holy child, weeping and beautiful. His picture hangs everywhere. These stairs always force us to bob up and down as if in a merry dance, even those of us who are heavy-hearted. But the divine couple sit on the terrace of the coffee shop. He has a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. She has long hair. They are at peace now, after the offering of halva and honey, both dressed in long, transparent gowns. When they rise from their resting place, opposite the sun as it sets on Jaffa Gate, everyone stands up to gaze at them. Two white auras surround their dark bodies. We think of those in our own community who are in need of healing. Today, we are lifting up Steve Bloom, Linda Bloom, Suzanne Christie, Joe Crane, Linda Davis, Roger Ford, Tracy Ford, Howard Fridson, Linda Fulkoff, Howard Katz, Joel Katz, Amy Klein, Leslie Magidson, Brian Newhouse, Jerry Nichols, Carol Urbanowitz, Brenda Saperstein, Marcia Silverman, Shelley Taub, Sherry Topper, Gloria Zytok, and Judy Zimmerman. If you have any names to add or correct, I encourage you to do so. Our prayer for healing is on page 253.
And let us say, Amen. Misheberach imoteinu mekor habracha la'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Last year, I was asked to help a teacher define what God is. And I offered various definitions. I outlined the functions of God to students. Each time I described God, I said God was X and God is Y. But a very perceptive student asked, why aren't you saying that he was X and he is Y? And I explained that there are many components to God. There is masculine and feminine components to God. God could be both genders, and using a pronoun could limit God's character and functions. And then I went on to argue that one need not believe in God to be Jewish. And the whole teaching seemed to surprise all the students, but these things are actually pretty common to hear, and all of them cause us to wrestle with what God is, instead of understanding or believing in God. In this conversation, I again found myself wrestling with God also, and how to explain God to others. In our Torah portion, Jacob literally wrestles with God, and this God figure could be an angel, it's some representation of God, and it's sort of impossible to figure out who Jacob is fighting with. After he crosses the Yabok River with his family, he encounters this angel-like being who wrestles with him. And it is known at that time that rivers were infested with demons, and so perhaps Jacob was wrestling with a demon. And the being is unable to prevail over him, but does dislodge his psychiatric nerve, causing him to limp. And Jacob is changed physically and internally. His name is changed to Yisrael. Rabbi David Kimchi, a commentator from the 12th century, argued that God sent an angel to wrestle with Jacob to strengthen his heart, so he would not fear that he could not stand up to Esau. Therefore, if the angel could not defeat him, then Esau would not be able to defeat him. They struggled until dawn as a hint that light is coming after the darkness. We can learn from this that when we face difficult situations, we must respond with strength, spirit, and faith in God and in ourselves. To be Am Yisrael, the nation of Israel, is to wrestle with beliefs and strengths, not to cling to unquestioned faith. The idea of wrestling with God can lead to other questions. We are told to imitate God by being someone who loves everyone and cares for everyone. But is this possible if we are wrestling with God and consequently not believing in God? I'm not sure there is an adequate response for that. I still wrestle with the concept of God and have days where I can't believe in God, and yet I still feel Jewish. Perhaps we all have those days. We often can't explain why we still consider ourselves to be Jewish while not believing or understanding the concept of God. If we go back for a minute to the story of Jacob wrestling with the angel, we could think of the angel as being purely Jacob himself. He's wrestling with his identity. He's struggling to determine who he is. As he crosses the river, he questions himself. Even before he was born, he was portrayed as someone who struggles. He struggles in the womb with Esau for birthright and blessing, and with Laban, his father-in-law. And Jacob has to summon inner strength and courage as he holds on to this angel and then overpowers it, demanding a blessing from it. This whole experience gives him courage and conviction to cross the river to confront his brother and the reality that awaits him. He's no longer the young boy who bargained for his brother's blessing through trickery and gall. Rather, when they meet again, both Esau and Jacob do an about-face, their anger having dissipated. Jacob is seeking reconciliation from Esau, and he can't do this unless he is a different person. And Esau does indeed see a different Jacob. He asks for forgiveness and is humble and repentant, and as a result, they can be seen as brothers again. And so Jacob is able to see in himself what Esau once saw. Jacob struggles with his success, his spiritual self colliding with his physical self as he attempted to determine true identity. He's unable to resolve his conflict without losing something. He loses his original identity. And the text reads, Ki sarita im Elohim, you have wrestled with the divine and prevailed. Now we go through this process of wrestling every day with God. We also go through it every year on Yom Kippur, as every Jew must struggle with who he or she is and who we must become. The Torah commands us on Yom Kippur to offer a scapegoat, putting things in perspective. Jacob's analysis and inner struggle bring him face to face with God, and we experience this too with repentance and profound introspection. When we encounter God or some form of God, we define our identities and we can respond to the challenges that await us. And for a minute, the opponent with whom we wrestle can be clear. It is ourselves. Perhaps we cannot understand God until we understand ourselves. And there's no right or wrong way to understand, connect, or believe in God. Wrestling with ourselves and our beliefs and concept of God is just one way. Jacob's wrestling can be seen as an example of meaningful suffering. This is the power to heal, transform an individual into a whole person who can come to terms with him or herself. At the end of Jacob's encounter with the other being, he says, "My breath was saved." He came out alive from a time that he was unsure of how things would end. In this time of uncertainty, he prevailed. And he names the place Peniel, the face of God. When he's separated and alone, he discovers God in his adversary and is blessed. In our own challenging times, may we be like Jacob and find God in our struggles. May we continue to wrestle with God to achieve our own individual transformation. Shabbat Shalom. We can continue with the Aleinu, page 282. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, l'te'etu al yotzer Bereshit, shelo asai b'goi ha'aratzot, ve'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam halkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. Ve'ne'emar ve'haya Adonai, lemelech al kol haaretz, v'yom hahu, yihyeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. In our Torah portion, we witness the deaths of Deborah, which is Rachel's nurse, Rachel and Isaac. And we can think of how they shared things with us, and we carry out their legacy many centuries later as you prepare for the Kaddish. Page 290. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch, a fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be, and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love what death has touched. We think of those who have passed away in this season in years past. Today we are remembering Mildred Adler, Edith Barrell, Helen Berkowitz, Pearl Bez, Marge May Ergis, Norm Firstman, Saul Frank, Seymour Frank, Jack Frank, Molly Goldberg, Kay Cassander, Martin Kelman, Bessie Napo, Gerald Leopold, Rebecca May Nagel, Judith Pepper, Louis Rabinowitz, Leo Rosenberg, Leo Sampson, Harold Samuels, Abraham G. Shakak, Aaron Slutsky, Lynn Snyder, and Norman Wilner. If you have any names to add or correct, I encourage you to do so. We rise in solidarity. Excuse me, page 294. Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyamechon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah v'varach la'alam u'lomei almaya. Yitzbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata
Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen.
Please be seated. Sharon has some announcements. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us this evening. A special thank you to Caitlin for ushering and to Henry for streaming for us this evening. On Sunday, December 15th at 8 p.m., join TKA friends at Corewell Health in Royal Oak for Moonbeams for Sweet Dreams. We will meet and join in singing songs outside of the children's department of the hospital to help bring joy to the sick children. Save the date for Shabbatica. This celebration will take place on Friday, December 20th at 5:30 for dinner, followed by services. The cost is $18 per adult, $10 for kids 12 and under, with a $50 cap per household. Walk-ins are $25, so please RSVP. Come enjoy potato latkes. The TKA band will be at services and a sing-along for a fun night of Shabbat and Hanukkah. As we start the story of Joseph in our Torah, come watch Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. This movie night is Saturday, December 21st at 7 p.m. There will be popcorn and snacks for everyone. Our TKA office will be closed from December 23rd to January 2nd for the holiday, returning on Friday, January 3rd at 9 a.m. In the event of an emergency, email Rabbi Shribman at rabbishribman@tkolami.org. On Friday, December 27th at 6 p.m., we will have Shabbat evening services via Zoom only. The Zoom link will be sent that day, so please check your email. If you have any questions or would like to RSVP to any of the events, please contact the temple office. Thank you.
Thank you.
Be on page 5 for Kiddush and Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim ki banu bacharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'vratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Our closing song is Adon Olam on page 321 in our prayer books. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Ve'ein Na'asa V'Nefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yiyeh V'Tifara Ve'hu Yiyeh V'Tifara Ve'hu Echad Ve'ein Sheni Lecha Shiloh Lecha Chira Ve'li Reshit Ve'li Tachlit Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'ha'misra Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'ha'misra Ve'hu Eli Ve'chai Go'ali Ve'tzur Hebli Ve'etzara Ve'hu Nisi Umanos Li Ve'nad Kosi Ve'yom Ekra Ve'nad Kosi Ve'yom Ekra Ve'yado Afkid Ruchi Ve'edi Shan Ve'anira Ve'i Ruchi Keviati Adonai Li Ve'lo Ira Adonai Li Ve'lo Ira.
May you feel whole, knowing you are enough. May you feel confident, knowing you are prepared. May you feel calm, knowing the storm will pass. And may you feel at peace, knowing you are loved. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Please join us for Oneg in the lobby.